Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Sister Nayyirah. I am totally excited today. Thank you all so very much for tuning in into our very first live podcast, Healing on Purpose, with Sister Nayyirah Muhammad as your host, produced by the Repair of the Black Family. Family, I am truly excited today because we are here to help eradicate generational trauma, drama, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging behavior patterns. And today, we are producing or presenting to you episode number 7. And as I present to you episode number 7, I think about the traumas and dramas of not knowing the right foods to eat, right? I think about how to eat to live. And so as we are on a journey to help the family to repair spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, today my guest is going to add to the movement. That's right. It's a movement to heal on purpose. So if you are ready to tap into this community, to heal on purpose and be a part of enlightenment for this movement, then you are doing the right thing at the right time and spending your energy, your inner guide with the right person. Today, as your host, Sister Nayyirah, I'm going to suggest and highly encourage that you take notes, right? Listen to us, but also take notes so that you can be engaged and also go back and do your research, because my guest today, she gonna bring it, y'all. So today I'm going to bring forth my guest, Sister Rikyrah. Is she in the house, Sister Rikyrah? My beautiful sister Rikyrah, excuse me. Thank you so very much we can't hear you. Okay. Thank you so very much for being here with your sister today, because look, we healing on purpose, right? And I'm so excited because I was talking to you in the back. And as I was talking to you, before the show started, I thought about my mentor, Queen Afua. I just was in a class with her yesterday, and one of the things that she said, and I love to quote people because I believe that I'm not the smartest person in the world, so I'm a student wherever I go, and I'm always trying to extract what I need and apply in my life so that I can also help fortify others. And as I was speaking to you in the back, a quote came to my mind from her, and she said, "Women that take care of the women will always be taken care of." And that, you reminded me of that quote today. I felt cared for in your presence, right? Just by conversation. So today, family, I'm not going to hold us. I don't know if we can hear you, but I want to go ahead and read your bio. Okay. And we have with us today Sister Rikyrah, Rikyrah. Did I say that correct? Okay, got it. Snow. And wait, by the way, let me just say this, y'all. Okay, let me tell you how powerful this program gonna be. Before I read her bio, let me just tell y'all what her name means. Okay, Rikyrah means peaceful ruler. Okay, so that means she is an expert in her field. Okay, so she's ruling what she's talking about. And so with that being said, Rikyrah Snow is a full-time mom, and I know that she enjoys that because that's the first thing on her bio. Okay, as a full-time mom, as well as a certified regenerative health practitioner. Okay, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You're going to learn about it today. All right, she specializes in gut health, African dance instructor, yoga teacher. Okay. And Sister Rikyrah, there's more that we can say, but I would definitely like for you to tell the audience, the listening audience, who are you?
Well, thank you so much for having me. First of all, Sister Nayyirah on Heal on Purpose. I really appreciate just being here and the energy and just the vibrations that we are creating, and the just being able to share our story and the truth of like how we got from here today. And yeah, my name is Rikyrah, Rikyrah Snow. I'm a certified regenerative health practitioner, And I help mamas find solutions to bring their body back into balance, restore and enhance mental health, to build, through just education, learning about soil health, regenerative health, and just to find that life again. And so I've been doing yoga for quite some time, but it wasn't until really learning and finding about regenerative health that really has shifted everything in my vibration, my transformation, my healing process, my thought process, my spiritual process. Because as I became a mother, that was when I ultimately had made a promise to my child that I would do whatever I can to make sure that she lives at optimal health. Because, at a young age, 22 years old, I was dealing with, and some people might not consider this a thing or whatever, but mental health is real. But I was suffering from depression at 22 years old. I dealt with lots of different things in my life where, hit by a car, mugged at gunpoint, all this other stuff. And just like depression had hit me, and learning now that it wasn't just through like drinking and all that stuff, but it also was the imbalance in our food and just the emotions that we have, triggers and traumas, not just from my generation, but generations past, that we hold on to, that we actually have not been able to learn how to really release and let go and really work through it. And so at 22, that was a huge shifting place for me. And I almost ended up taking my own life. However, there was a light that popped up. My mom's face popped up as well. And so that literally actually was the day that my life was saved. And so fast forward, and I definitely want to give gratitude to my mom, because she had 2 kids and she did everything that she could to make sure that we were alive and well, and put us in Girl Scouts and cheerleading and all the things, and, just made sure that we showed up for ourselves. So I definitely appreciate her. And that turning point was so that I can, make her proud as well as make myself proud. And so when I had my daughter, she was just this beautiful light, this beautiful being. And something in me that really wanted to shift. And I was eating the standard American diet, as you mentioned, through our bodies and how we're connecting to ourselves. It is through our food. Our food literally is our vessel to how we live on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's no hands down, and people have talked to me like, you're always talking about the food. You're always talking about the food. People are always talking about their cars breaking down. They're always talking about getting a new car. They need a new car. They need a new house. They need to do that. What about the food for the body of your temple? Your temple is your car. Your temple is your house. So
beautiful. So you that's power pack right there. So family, if you are enjoying this just thus far, let us know that you're here. We definitely want to hear from the listening audience. This is going to be totally engaging. Now, you gave me quite a bit here, and I'm excited. And there's 2 things that I really want to highlight, and we're going to start here because I believe that we should always highlight our mothers, right? Because we wouldn't have a voice if it wasn't for our mothers. And when we're talking about healing on purpose, one of the things that I have found as women, right, and women period, but in particular the Black woman, the more we can be in communication and heal our relationships with our mothers, the more we actually heal generations prior, not just us, but those past generations. So as we heal, everyone is healed, right? Our mothers are healed. So thank you for the powerful acknowledgement of your mother. And I definitely found, on my healing journey, that was the one main focus that I had to tap into, is how to heal my relationship with my mother. So that within itself, I want to give you kudos for that. Thank you, Tracy. And those that are coming, we see you all. I want to say thank you for that powerful, that's healing within itself. Okay. So 22 years old, at 22 years old, you go through all of these traumatic experiences. Which one of these experiences that you can truly say, this was my victim story? Like, and I'm sure there's all of it we can talk about, right? But let's dive into that one thing that you knew, okay, boom, this is going on, but I got to shift this. And how did you go from victim into what you would say at this point, now you're victorious?
I want to say, I think every little bit of experience that I've dealt with held a lot of trauma within my body, to where I, at a young age, started drinking at 16. And so kind of numbing the experiences throughout high school, and just kind of like being a little numb to things. And I was a cheerleader though. And cheerleader, you're happy go lucky, you're da 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 da. So it was an outside surface, but no one knew what was going on the inside. And I didn't really know who to talk to. So I think all that bottled up from like, I was also sexually assaulted for a long time. However, and I don't think I actually really got to have the opportunity to talk about it, because it's, you just hush hush, you just kind of deal with it. It's not happening anymore.
That's common, right? That's common with us, with women, right? Especially when it happens at a young age. And like you said, we numb that. So I see that at 16. Good.
So I think that kind of escalated into the drinking, and then the hit by a car, and then the mugged at gunpoint, and all this stuff, and just not really being able to channel that or put that in somewhere, or learn or know where to put it in. So I would go out dancing. I would go out, into the cities and dance and all that stuff when I was able to, and kind of find my outlet that way. But then also the drinking and stuff. But then when 2021, I was blacking out and all that stuff. And then 22, that was at a turning point for me, where I was so sad and I didn't really know who to talk to. And it was just kind of like, no one's going to miss me. But at that same time, when that happened, that I don't want to say, when things started to happen in that moment, and I was very intoxicated at that time as well. So I kind of was stumbling, but then something happened where like that light popped in, my mom's face popped in, and I was like, hold up, this does not feel like me right now. There's something going on, and I need to find the answers to what is going on. So that same evening, I got up and I walked home.
Wow. Let's hold that right there. See, family, I really want you to listen to what she's saying. She was going through something. She was make sure I'm duplicating. I'm gonna put it in my language, but I just want us to, because I don't want us to escape this point that I want to raise. You was, what I can perceive, in your darkest moment, and then you heard the voice from within. I like to call that God voice, that self-accusing spirit, that thing, that angel, right? But through everything, through the drinking and whatever you was through, the pain, you was still able to hear that voice within, that voice of change, to say, hold up. Right? I like to say it like this, Sister Rikyrah. Let me know if this resonates with you. You resisted the devil. And you made him flee from you, because you had enough inner God, inner strength, to talk yourself through something that you had no control over, but you had control over you. That's the power, family. I just wanted to highlight that. Healing on purpose. My sister said, hold up. Write this in the chat. Sometimes you're going to have to say, hold up. Something is not right. Okay, go ahead, Sister Rikyrah. Girl, I had to say that. Peaceful ruler.
Well, I appreciate you. And yeah, I want to say, even though that might have been the lowest point in my life, that was also the day that my life was saved.
Come on.
Because then I also had the opportunity recently after to transition and move out of this space, because I knew I needed to move out of the space. And so I literally moved to the West Coast, to California. I never moved out of Minnesota before. I'd never been to California before. A couple friends were like, we're going to move to California. And like, my gut was like, yes. So I did it. My mom said, yeah, I don't see you in a cubicle. You're an artist. I see you creating things. So she already, it was a go. And so when I did that, my backyard for 6 months for the first time was the beach, the ocean.
Wow. Wow. Therapy.
I stood there and I said, and I made a promise to myself. I was like, I am no longer going to be pessimistic. I am going to shift. I'm going to be optimistic. Everything is going to happen for me, because I actually moved to be a radio announcer because radio and music was the thing that really saved my life. It's like, I don't know if you're ever upset, you go home and you put on that radio and you hear your favorite announcer, their voice, and they put that song on that just puts a smile on your face. And you're like, yes, there's hope again. That's what I really wanted to create for people. Was that hope. And so after 6 months, I ended up moving to Los Angeles, California, knee deep in Los Angeles. I knew one friend there, and I was like, she was knee deep in Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, guess this is where we're doing. Because, my mom said, do you want to move back? And I was like, no, I do not want to move back.
So you had to take a chance.
I had to take a chance.
And you had to count on you.
Yes.
So my listening audience, family, y'all write this down. I want you to write it in the chat. Let Rikyrah know that you hear her and you feel her. You got to count on you. You got to take a chance. Rikyrah, it was you who saved you. Wow. And you, guess what? You had to say no to everything you was comfortable with.
Yes.
Family, listen. When you're healing on purpose, sometimes you're going to have to say no to everything you're comfortable with. Sister Rikyrah, you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to heal on purpose. Wow, family, let's continue. What else would you like us to know about that, moving into the state of victoriousness?
Well, that was literally 4 months. I applied at my friend. She was working at this family mom and pop natural food store. And I was like, yeah, I can work here. Didn't know about holistic health, but I didn't get the job. But I was really working towards radio announcing, which was, I became a radio announcer for 2 years. It was
that fun?
Was that fun? The best. I got to create playlists, and I started meeting local bands and music. And that's when dancing really actually started. That's when my soul became alive, was dancing.
Tell us about that, because I do know that you're an African dancer. And I didn't know how to say the name, so I did not want to be disrespectful to it. Please, Sister Rikyrah, talk about that. Talk about that healing through dance.
So now I'm actually a Kuku African dance teacher as of, I want to say 2020. But when I lived in the West Coast, I lived in California, Los Angeles, California. My friend knew some friends who were in a band. And she was like, you want to come with me to the show? And I was like, okay. Rock band. They were awesome. And then another friend of mine introduced me to this underground bar, live music bar. And the best music came out of this bar. I don't know if you're familiar with Kamasi Washington and The Next Step. They were part of this bar. If you're not, look them up. They were the West Coast Get Down, Miles Mosley at the time. And now they're still a family. They grew up together and they're touring and selling out shows. Wow. But the dance for me was that was my saving grace, because for me, that was my armor and shield. And that was when you're the caterpillar and you're in the cocoon and then you just bust out like a butterfly. That was my cocoon, and I just busted out like a butterfly.
Wow.
You would always find me in the front row. You would always, literally the front row at the edge of the carpet with the music, because I didn't want to hear anyone's conversations. I didn't want to hear if they're fighting or all this stuff. And, my eyes would close, the music would be on, and then my body would just kind of just take its own form. And for about 5.5 years, I met beautiful people, still friends today, who've shown me things. Met a beautiful friend who is vegan, and she's shown me a whole nother world of, eating food that is.
We're going to get to that. So,
but then she also was a dancer. She's a producer, an artist. And so we would go out dance. So the dancing literally rebirthed who I was. And I didn't know that dance actually was going to be something that was going to be part of my life. I had no idea. Radio announcing was my whole thing to go to, but dancing was actually what my soul needed to find.
Wow. Listen, as y'all listen to this, I want you listen to her story, but I want you to think about what's your soul calling.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Rikyrah said that was my soul, like that was in my soul. And it pulled, and I heard you say it was your saving grace.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, your soul calling. So, family, as we're listening to this, and I'm hearing your soul calling, and you say dancing saved your life, but tell me why the African is. Do you believe that that tapped into like your roots, your DNA, your it was a soul calling, so you tapped into that. Could you
Yeah,
give us a little bit of that experience?
absolutely. So I continued, dancing, and then I left and moved West Coast, and dancing always was something in me, but there was things, triggers, and traumas that happened that kind of like maybe put my dancing. But for me, I always really wanted to connect with my roots. My great grandmother, she wrote a book. And she was married to a handsome man. He was Cherokee, so he was Native. So I am part Native and part, African, but she was born here, and her story is powerful. But we know that our story doesn't go beyond that. We don't know much more about our story. We don't know much more about our ancestors.
Say
And
that
our
again.
being cut
Say
off.
that for the people in the back.
Okay. So for me, there was always something that really wanted me to get closer to the roots, and I mean the roots. And so when my family and I went on a road trip to California to go see a family member, and then I met up with another friend, and she introduced me to this style of dance, this group. She goes, "Oh, I want to show you this. It's on YouTube. Me and my son, we do it all the time, and it's amazing." And then we did it in her living room, and my daughter did it, and it was super fun. I was like, yeah. But it resonated with me all the way back because I ended up moving back to the Midwest after a lot of things shifted. Yoga came into my life, and I was like, this is calling to me. This is literally calling to me right now. And that, even the fact that the creator and founder looks identical like my mother.
Wow.
If you know about doppelgangers, they have the same face. Put those two together, they have the same face.
Wow.
And so, and a lot of people ask me, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Because, and I say I'm from, African American, or I'm from Chicago, I'm raised in Minnesota. But they're like, no, where are you from? And it was always hard for me because I didn't have that answer. But then seeing this person, and then just seeing this vibration and energy was something that called to me. But not only that, the connection that she looks just like my mom, I felt closer to my roots, because I'm like, there's something there. She's from Ghana, who founded Kuku African Dance, and my mom was born in Chicago. But literally, they have the same face. There's some connection of my heritage that I am super excited to find out. But the dancing itself, and just the roots and the music that curated from Africa, that we can really move to our bodies, and focusing on our boomsi, which is your buttocks, which is also your root chakra, your base chakra, the grounding. We hold a lot of energy in that space to release that, and the stomp, and to move your arms, to open your heart. All that vibration is literally fueling the Mother Earth that we are living on right now. And then some. That's the roots too.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
powerful. There's a lot of knowledge that we have been disconnected from. And to be able to understand the energy wills within the will, right? We are a will, and we have energy wills within the will. That's all us, and to come from where we've been, and to rediscover or recover ourselves is so powerful. And that journey is healing within itself. Just hearing your story is healing. And to hear how you was able to connect your mother back to the founder, who is from Ghana. Well, we're from Ghana too. Yes. So powerful. Yes, ma'am. So could you say that word again, and what does it mean?
Kukua. And so she explained what it means. Kukua means to be. So Kukua African dance, to be free, to be happy, to be light, to be love, to be joy, to be bliss. And that's what dance is for me. It's all that in a nutshell. You know, just you put on a music, something, even instrumental. I don't need no lyrics. The body will literally do whatever it needs to do.
Beautiful. Absolutely. So I see that my engineer put it in the chat, and we definitely want people to connect with you to learn more about Akukawa, to connect us back to the roots, right? The root chakra. So the root energy, right? So thank you. So Sister Rikyrah, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's talk about family patterns. We deal a lot with generational cycles, generational traumas, generational dramas, and all of these things, right? And many of us are victim to our past, and we are not present in our present, right? Yeah. So, and as you look at your family patterns, you look at your mother line, your father line, you know, just the family cycle. Where can you look and say, you know what? My family went through this, but here I am. I changed the narrative. Mm-hmm. Do you have a story or an example where you know, here I am, I changed the narrative? And what was your route?
I honestly want to say, and again, the most love that my family presented with what they knew, what they were shared, and what they were told would be the best way. But for me, what I learned was through our food.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I mean, and I'm going to get deep when we talk about how this land was created. Mm-hmm. There's no truth about it. Mm-hmm. It was stripped. Mm-hmm. It was, you know, people's lives were taken. Mm-hmm. They're cheating all over and replaced and pushed out, and things were killed, you know what I'm saying, so that we can have this land of the free. To who? Because then you brought people over that were enslaved, and then the food that they got was the food that you didn't even want. So now they're still eating the food because that's what their traditions learned over time and time and time. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about traditions, people get so wrapped in that. But for me, my tradition is creating traditions that are healing and fulfilling and nourishing. And so, you know, very grateful for what I had. But I also, when I had my child and living in California and learning about holistic health, and, you know, I had worked at a restaurant for about 8 months that was gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and meat-free. And that experience was the most powerful experience in my life. Mm-hmm. I've never seen my skin shimmer, glitter in my entire life. Brain fog, the energy that I had was tremendous. The vibration the power that I felt in my body was nothing like anything else. And then when that place ended up no longer being there, then things shifted, you know, and just kind of went back into certain things. But then when my daughter was born and she was starting to eat food, and I was breastfeeding, you know, and I breastfed until like 3 years. She was 3 years old. But when she was starting to eat solid foods, there was just something in my gut. And again, we're going to go to that gut, because the food that I was ingesting that I had no idea was causing the chemical imbalance in my mental and emotional and hormonal health.
And this is true, family. This is definitely true. You know, your gut is your second brain.
It's actually your first brain.
Okay.
And the reason why is because 90% of your serotonin, your hormones, is in your gut. Your gut literally is the controller of everything.
Truth.
If your gut is not happy, nothing else about you is happy.
This is true. And so if we want to, you know, really get the handle on mental health or so-called mental illness, it starts in the gut. And this is why, as we continue to talk about, because I know that you're a regenerative health care practitioner, I want to hear more about that, and I want my listening audience to hear more about that. As I thank God for the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad through this book here. I don't know if the people can see it. Maybe they can put it up on the screen, of How to Eat to Live. There's a passage that's in here that goes inside with what you're talking about. And before I read this passage, I think over exactly what you said. We are a people that has lost the knowledge of ourselves, our land, our God, our culture, right? And we were literally, this knowledge was taken from us, and we were forced to adapt to another system. So the food we were given, we did the best with what we had. This is why we created soul food, which is really a slave diet, right? And so slave dying, right? So with us getting back to our roots and learning how to eat from the ground, or eat from the garden, from the roots of things, that's taking us back to our roots. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says in this book, the Bible says that and this is on page 1, right way to eat. Okay, listen to this. This is going to coincide exactly what you stand for. Okay, right way to eat. The Bible says that he will give us more life abundancy, but he demands, listen to this, Sister Rikyrah, strict obedience to his will. There is no way of prolonging the life of a human being or other life unless it begins with restrictions of the foods which sustains life. The right kinds of food and the proper time when it should be taken into our bodies. And I heard you say that people are so hard on you and feel like you are so extreme because of your advocacy for us as a people to eat the right foods, the proper foods, to help with our mental health. And in the Black community, we suffer. And we don't think we have the answers, that we're turning to a pill. And here it is, Sister Rikyrah, you have put yourself through a process, through self-experience, then education, to fight for mothers. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when you teach a mother, you teach a nation. So you are a peaceful warrior, right? And I just want to leave you with this quote, and then I definitely want you to get into the regenerative health through the food, right? Because many of us don't know what that is, right? So we're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, girl. Healing on purpose, family. If you are here and you are enjoying this show, and you know that we are healing on purpose, and you can benefit from what we're saying today, please let us know. We want questions from the listening audience. Sister Rikyrah, there's a favorite quote, one of the favorite quotes that I like. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. Kurt Corbin. So sometimes we're going to have to go through what the Christ had to go through. We're going to be persecuted for righteousness, for his name's sake, right? But we all got to cross the bear. And your cross that you've picked up is to help us to eat right. And as you carry your cross, which means the struggle, right? According to the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you're going to receive your crown. So I just want to encourage you and say thank you and validate what you have sacrificed to give us life, and life more abundantly, as a messenger of freedom, justice, equality, especially through the food. Now, girl, you're going to have to talk about this regenerative cellular healing. And you are certified in it. So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. As I was talking about, when I had my daughter, I had transitioned to be more vegan, more, get away from the meat, all that stuff, the dairy, even though, cheese, we say, oh my God, I'm so hard to get away with cheese. Cheese is literally just like cocaine.
What?
It's literally the hormones. Like, you can't get away from cheese. Figure out why. Why can't you get away from it? Why do you have that attachment to it so much?
Right.
You know?
You
So
say cheese is like cocaine. Okay, y'all.
I had to say
I
it
hear you,
because
sister.
people don't say it, and they're like, "I'm so addicted to it. I can't get rid of." Well, it's that mindset. Yes, you can.
Right.
So, in the summer of 2020, pandemic happened. Everything shut down. Isolation. New mom. Couldn't even hang out with other moms. Turned my yoga business online to help people really get through that mental health. Then I also had this opportunity. I already have a friend who's on here who shared about this beautiful community. And then I had another friend who shared about this beautiful community. And that was really talking about regeneration and regenerative health, but like through superfoods. And I already knew about superfoods through living in the West Coast in California, but I didn't know about these superfoods. But I'm someone who's very always interested in learning like the best of the best, right? Because our money is our investment. And we don't want to be putting money into stuff that's not going to help us. And I was postpartum, depletion, couldn't sleep, dealing with depression, anxiety, isolation. When George Floyd happened, the movement happened, like that whole, like I'm literally in the eye of the storm, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So when that all happened, it was just like, oh my gosh, I almost literally didn't even want to leave my house. I did not even want to leave my house. I was about to shut down. But then this opportunity with this regenerative community was like the situation. I became a scholarship recipient, and it was like, not only was an interview asking, not only do you get to have these amazing superfoods to try and so you can help your healing process and transformation, but you also actually will be able to get the opportunity to work on your financial health while being at home with your child. Because that was the whole thing, is that I wanted to be full-time mom, be home with my child, my partner, he was working all the time, but I wanted to also create something for myself.
Right.
And so being able to not only work on my health and then share my story, that was when I was like, okay, well, I can't go into hiding, because this is an opportunity that I literally have been dreaming of. Get your own online store and, get shipped to your door. You can help your community, your family feel good in their body. Okay, let's do this. However, I also didn't know how much personal development came from it, but then learning about the gut health.
Come on, sister.
I'm going to get real. The glyphosate.
Say that.
That has been linked to the destruction of our gut microbiome due to the glyphosate being sprayed on our crops.
Wait, we're going to need to spell that. I want my engineer to put that up on the screen so people can do their research on this. Okay. Don't just take our word, family. We are here to heal on purpose, which is going to require us to show up for ourselves, to heal on purpose, which means you got to do the work. We're here to provide information that we hope that you will actually research to find what's true for you. It will be true for you. Okay. So could you spell that so that my engineer can put that up on the screen?
Absolutely. So glyphosate is spelled GLYPHOSATE.
Okay, say it one more time.
GLYPHOSATE.
Okay, good. Now continue on with what that means and what has happened with that.
Now, with this regenerative community, what I loved about it was just like having superfoods and having a business, a locked key business where you get free training, free mentorship, free coaching, all that stuff where costs like $10,000 to actually have your own business and do all this stuff. No, it came free when you get your transformation kit, which is Boss.
Wow.
But then finding out that our gut has literally been destroyed due to the glyphosate, which is also found in Roundup, which is a weed killer, and it's been sprayed on our crops, the food that we eat, since the late 70s, early 80s, after being brought over. And you can actually find out and listen to this from a documentary on Netflix called Kiss the Ground.
Wait a minute. Write that in there. Y'all write it in the chat. We want to
Kiss
hear
the
from you,
ground.
listening on Kiss the ground. Okay, write that
That's
down.
it. And it's a little snippet that talks about how glyphosate was brought over and created by this German scientist, and it was used over in Germany for said event.
Wow.
And then it was brought over here, and it was sprayed on our crops.
Wow.
So that we can have a load of crops so that all the people can have food, but also for the livestock, for the pigs that we eat in our bodies. So knowing that glyphosate is a herbicide, an antibiotic, and a water soluble, but it also disrupts the endocrine in our body, which is our adrenals, thyroid, like everything. It's like the powerhouse in your body is being destroyed on a cellular level.
Wow. Wow. If y'all like this, drop us on fire. Let us know that this is helping you. Wow. So this is happening.
This is happening. And now we're actually seeing the destruction through people being sick. We live in the wealthiest country, but we are the sickest of people. Why? Because the wealth is going straight to, what is it? You control the food, you control the population.
Come on now, say that one more time.
You control the food, you control the population.
Okay, this is why we must grow our own foods, family. We got to grow our own foods. Wow.
Yes. And so I was really appreciative of finding this regenerative community. And I have a couple of friends on here right now that
look, tell them to shout you out. We want to learn more about the community.
Mamas who are literally in the same mission as me. Because we mama bears, when we found that out, for me, I was pissed that I was literally giving my daughter Cheerios that had the most amounts per billion of glyphosate in it. And the doctors recommended me giving it to her as one of her solid foods to be the easiest thing that she puts in her body.
And thank you, sister. This goes back to, if, as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right.
Exactly.
In this system, we have not been treated right. So we have not been taught right.
Exactly.
And so another quote, as you can see, I love, this is what saved my life. Like you talk about that saving grace, right? This was my saving grace, where the messenger, the Messenger of Elijah Muhammad, says 75% of the work is with the woman. So I'm cheering on this mama bear community, right? When you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. So right now, a nation of women, through this regenerative collaboration, sisterhood, is being taught, and I'm being enlightened, and I feel empowered by the information that you're sharing. And I pray that my community feels the same, because the women, we're the cornerstone of the house. We are the medicine women. Right? Our food is our medicine, but our words is our medicine, right? And here's another thing, Sister Rikyrah, and this is for those that's in your community that's listening. The sisterhood is medicine. And so by you all taking your time and being diligent, being the peaceful warriors, right, to research this information and provide this information, but literally help to save the future generations through the food is commendable. And I just want to cheer you on, and I want my community to know that this community exists. And when I heard you speak on it, and the passion and what you've done and what you've gone through to save a life, and I'm on my journey, sis, heal on purpose. Let me just be very vulnerable. I've had this beautiful book for over 20 years, but it took me till just this year to give up the meat. And one of my inspirations to truly say, let me apply what I've already been given, was through Queen of Four. She helped me, just by the way she put it, and that's why words is medicine. To say, you know what, I got to apply what I have here. I'm giving up the meat. And I feel so much better, sister. You know, through trauma, losing my dad, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And I have done everything I could to stay off the medicines, and I've done quite well. Thank you a lot. Right. But I'm even getting better of getting this inflammation out my body through detoxing. Right. So I was already on my own journey of detoxing, but when the student is ready, a teacher will appear.
Yeah.
And so Queen of Four has enhanced my ability to really fortify my detox journey and really restoring my health back to its original state while applying the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is taking me deeper into my journey. So to hear you is an addition. It's an addition. And you're giving us, you know, look, you could change your DNA. You could change at a cellular level. So definitely, I want you to continue to tell us about changing our DNA.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And like, if you don't know what regenerative health regeneration means, it does mean to regenerate on a cellular level. So to change, you can reverse. When people say, oh, it's genetics, I'm doing it because of genetics. Well, I'm going to say this because a beautiful mentors have said this multiple times, and especially in the institute that I actually just graduated from. Very grateful. And I'll mention a little bit more about that. Is genetics loads the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger.
Woo! Wait, y'all, hold up. We are not going to let that go by. And I'm going to ask my listening audience. See, this is where we got to get engaged in this. And this is how when you repeat things and you write it down, it literally becomes a part of your cellular level. Mm-hmm. Say that one more time. And for everyone that's listening, I want you to write this quote by Sister Rikyrah. Say that one more time.
So I'm going to actually give credit to my dear friend, Carrie Tidwell.
Okay, Carrie Tidwell.
Love you. And it's your genetics loads the gun, but your lifestyle will pull the trigger.
Whoa!
So you have the opportunity to not pull that trigger.
Come on.
With your lifestyle.
Come on.
So if you're dealing with the genetics or saying like, oh yeah, I have this heart thing or I have this pancreas thing because my grandmother did it. Okay, then what are you going to do differently so that your life can actually be thriving and you're living and you're not having to see that as your, the end result.
That limiting beliefs.
The limiting beliefs. And so continuing learning that, about the gut health and glyphosate and the education. And then we were doing Wellness Wednesdays. We still do that every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 30 minutes where you get to learn about all different types of topics as like menstruation, diabetes, obesity, intermittent fasting, pregnancy, postpartum, mental health, gut health, all that stuff. And I just would go on every single call and kept learning and learning and learning. And to where I got this beautiful opportunity with one of my mentors. She was doing so great in this business. She was, nutritionist. She was helping people who were suffering with cancer and tumors. And she added this into her lifestyle. And she is a mama of 5. She is a mompreneur, and she just really wanted to help get this education out. And so she opened the Institute of Regenerative Health. And I actually was one of her first students as well. I have another friend on here right now who's also one of her first students. And we were in the winter, I want to say, January, for 15 weeks intensive course. And we learned about there's 2 different types of treatments. There's the allopath where you do the chemo, the pharmaceutical, or there's another one, pharmaceutical or surgery. They just cut you open. Or you go the natural path, the natural way where you learn about detox and alkalining your body, because most of us are actually an acidic body right now because due to the food that we've been told that we need to eat. When actually we learn that as a species, we're more of a frugivore species. What are frugivores? fruitarians, fruits. Fruits are literally the living foods that we are actually naturally supposed to go towards, because
Wow.
fruits are the highest angstroms of energy. They digest the fastest in your body, what you want. You don't want your body to be overworked. And they really help. They're astringents, cleaners. They help digest, utilize, absorb, and eliminate in your body.
I totally agree with that. And family, I just want to say this for the purposes of why we have to say we're not doctors here, right?
I'm not making any claims.
Right.
I'm not a doctor, but I
Yes.
literally through education and
Yes.
experience as well, and
Yes.
hearing people's stories and testimonials, that's the power,
Right. Right. And I truly believe, right. Good. Thank you. And I believe I support that, right? I truly believe the power is within your own hands,
Mhm.
right? And knowledge is power. The application of knowledge is superpower. Okay,
Mhm.
let me say that one more time, and I want y'all to quote Sister Nayyirah on this part. Knowledge is power, and the application of knowledge is power. Sister Rikyrah, one of my quotes, and I'm a quote. I love to quote, right? But this is my own quote. The truth will set you free as long as you are not in love with the lie and the liars.
Mhm.
And the first liar we have to free ourselves from is telling lies to ourselves. We got to stop saying I'm good and knowing that in areas of our lives we're not good, right? And we have to have that superpower ability, which is love for self, in my viewpoint, to take charge of ourselves, everybody around us. This is how we are going to bring the kingdom of God on earth. We're going to bring that peace on earth, right? Because we are changing the narratives, the dynamics of as a people, as a culture, as Black people, right? To help humanity, we got to change the things that destroyed us and now begin to tap back in at a cellular level and remember ourselves as a community, as a family, as a tribe of people to heal on purpose. And today, just the knowledge that you've dropped on us, I want to say again, as a woman, as a sister, I got a new sister in the ranks, right? Right? Because the sisterhood is my medicine and I'm a student. Thank you for sharing what you've shared with this listening audience so that we can be empowered and grow more into our superpowers, to be activated, to be fortified and charged up to change not just ourselves, but the future generation. We're living in a time period. If COVID ain't teach us nothing, it taught us how to eat right, right? To have longevity. And we're going to have to know how to go in and restore ourselves and our cells at a cellular level. So let me ask you this. And I see that you learned a lot about yourself. You help with your family. You've gone from victim to victorious in a lot of ways. And you have a daughter, right? Are you teaching your daughter this way of life?
I want to say I'm guiding her about
Okay.
this way of life. She's
Good.
teaching me. She
Yes.
taught me how to step into my power, because I wasn't okay with what I learned and I couldn't just turn a blind eye. So I needed to find that strength within myself. And again, going against most of everyone in the grain, but I knew that I needed to speak and share my truth. And when I was about to shut down, I was on a call with the regenerative community, and they said, in order to serve, you need to be seen.
Woo, wait, say that one more time, sister.
In order to serve, you need to be seen.
Powerful, powerful family. Y'all go ahead and write that in the chat. That is something to remember.
And so when I learned about this regenerative health and I got my transformation kit and we went on our road trip, my daughter literally was having her green shake. She literally, and I started drinking my apothecary. I'm going to mention some of them because they are delicious. And the apothecary helped me be able to sleep. And then it was actually because I was breastfeeding, she was getting the apothecary, which is great for it's anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. It's great for kidneys to really alleviate your kidneys. It really helps your body just kind of work in a process when you're sleeping. So it helped us sleep so much better on that, and she still gets it. And so even to this day now, I would like to say that my daughter is a superfood plant-based child. I don't want to label anything because, she, depending on where she goes in her life, I just will, know that she'll have this education. But yes, we make our superfood ice creams. We eat our fruits, we make our smoothie bowls, we make sure that we have our herbs, we have our whole foods. She knows about fruits and veggies. She knows about the eliminating process. Like the one thing about regenerating your cells on a cellular level is learning about, are your kidneys filtering? Is your lymphatic system working properly? And your lymphatic system is your sewage tank in your body. There are two ways that your body will work: your blood and your lymph.
Come on now.
Your blood feeds your glands and your organs, and your lymph cleans your glands and your organs. So you should be eliminating, and I'm going to get real, eliminating your pee and your poop almost every single time after you eat. If you are not doing that, then your body and your lymph is starting to back up, and that's when you get congestion, mucus, digestion issues. And our elimination pathways is through our lymph system, our breath, our skin. So literally, if it's not coming out through your lymph system, you might be dealing with rashes. You might be dealing with allergies because your body is not able to really eliminate it because we haven't opened up those pathways yet. And so with the community that we work, that I am so beautifully aligned with and link arms with, and if you want to share the story, because we always want people to help share the story, is through understanding our body as a system as well. And in order for us to really thrive in ourselves and in our cells, we need to understand the chemistry of our food, chemistry of our emotions. And so my daughter, who is 3.5 years old, will literally understand what happens if things don't digest in your body. You get a tummy ache, okay? You might get sick. What happens if you get sick? What can you eat in your body? Fruits and veggies. She's getting that. She gets that concept. And I feel like that is the greatest gift that I can give her, is just to understand that, wherever she is, in life, just to come back into balance, bring her body back into balance that way.
Wow. Family, listen to Sister Rikyrah. We're repairing the Black family, one family at a time, heal on purpose. That means with intention. Okay. And as you have shared so much, I definitely desire to have the listening audience to get more in communication with you. And you gave us some action steps, but I definitely want to outline at least 3 action steps that one can apply.
Mm-hmm. So yes, the first one is ask questions. If you are not feeling good in your body, ask the questions why and how do I get to the root cause of it, and speak up.
Okay, so let's write that in the chat, family. Ask questions. Mm-hmm.
If you're not feeling good, speak up and ask why and get to the root cause. Read your labels.
That's 2.
Read your labels and work to try to and consume these certified organic foods, because even if you're eating your fruits and veggies, you are still adding on the glyphosate and the chemicals and the toxins. So that's number 2. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
Okay, say it again.
If you cannot pronounce it and it's not a whole food, do not eat it. And then the third one is learn about, and I can also help you if you would like to learn through me, about regenerative health, soil, permaculture, because this will be the new way how we will transform Mother Earth back into its righteous, optimal living self. Yes. Because right now, 93 Americans tested glyphosate, had glyphosate in their urine. 93%, 2015.
Wow. Where did you find that information?
So I actually can send you the link.
Okay,
It's
good.
through my Million Mom Movement community. And
Okay.
there's this woman who had wrote a book about Monsanto.
Okay,
And
good,
so,
good.
yes. And so it's in our soil, our rainwater, umbilical cord, and it's the placenta in newborns.
Wow. Wow. Yes, ma'am. Listen, family, this sister is dropping it. It's some jewels in here to study. Sister Rikyrah, what is next for you?
While continuing to spread the word, linking arms with those who really want to not only, you don't have to know anything about regenerative health, but who are really passionate about understanding this and learning this and want to share with the community, break generational traumas and change. So what's next for me is to keep growing, to keep having a healthy happy hour, sociable times, regenerative movement events, collaborate with beautiful people who really want to share this message, and to continue to speak up, have events. And I literally would love to be the regenerative movement juice mama that just really helps this whole world be able to just feel good in their bodies.
Absolutely.
You
You
know,
know, there's power in communication and collaboration, right?
exactly.
Collaboration builds credibilities. And I am a retreat leader. So I'm already looking at how I'm going to bring you into a retreat and you're going to have a whole class, sister. Look, this is the beginning, is definitely not the end. And I'm just so grateful that our energies connected, right? Whatever frequency you're on, you're going to attract your tribe, right? Whatever you attract to you is because where you vibrate at. And so because I'm vibrating at this level, I attracted you into my world as well as you attracted me. And I believe that we are coming together because we have a greater work. Listen, a million moms, come on now. A nation can rise no higher than its woman. And it's going to take women from all walks of life to be able to help repair the Black family. So I'm excited that we are healing on purpose. So I definitely want to, how do we get more information? Of course, we're going to follow you on your social media, but I definitely want to have you to put in the chat how they can join this community, of regenerative health care. We want you to put that information up. As you are putting that in the chat, there's other things that you do. So I'm going to ask my engineer to show your flyer. Okay. This sister is she loves yoga, she loves dance. So if you are interested in her dance classes, this is her flyer, this is what she do. And we want you to connect with Sister Rikyrah. Could you please let the listening audience, as you write it in the chat, go ahead and communicate, how can we find you, sister?
Yes, absolutely. So you can definitely find me on IG at Rikyrah Snow, or you can also email me if you have questions, if you want to learn more about regenerative health, if you want to learn how you can share this message with your community. We are always growing, and especially in the BIPOC community, POC community, we have literally just been growing and sharing the story and really breaking the chains. So that's one, definitely those two ways that would probably be the best, and say hello. And then, yeah, I teach Kuku African dance on Tuesdays at this beautiful Afrocentric just store that was created by a family from Ghana, and from who um just really wanted to help have people just live for the culture. It's he's I say, it's not my store, it's your store. And he and his family have just been so beautiful, and just really expanding just this growth in the culture, and just having free classes for the people to come.
Do you all ship? Do you ship the
So
products?
so for the superfoods, we do ship. It comes to your door.
Okay, great.
So with
So I'm
everything
definitely going to
happening
get.
right now with the gases, you ain't even got to worry. You can slow down the carbon footprint and the carbon footprints by literally investing in your body with these regenerative superfoods.
Okay, I was about to close. You just can't drop knowledge, and I can't slow down the carbon. What?
Footprint and the carbon footprint.
Okay, y'all heard that. You heard it from our beautiful guest speaker, the peaceful warrior. As you can see, she is causing war. We're at war for the hearts and minds of our people, and to help repair the Black family is to help heal humanity. We healing on purpose, family. So today, we want you to follow her at Rikyrah Snow IG. Rikyrah Snow at IG. Okay, so I'm gonna do some announcements. Here's my book. Okay, if you have not gotten The Repair of the Black Family, which is an international best-selling book, it's still on the Amazon bestsellers list. You definitely can go click the link in my bio. You can go to my website at www.repairtheblackfamily.com. And yeah, we ship all around the world. Or you can go directly to Amazon. This is the healing balm for the Black family and humanity. So we ask that you get the book, support the book, as we are working to create a movement of people that desire to heal on purpose. The next thing is we have our Egypt trip. Sister Rikyrah, girl, look, I'm gonna have to snatch you up. Okay, so Sister Nayyirah, as a transformational life coach and speaker, my desire is to help women, men, families to heal on purpose, tapping back into the roots. We're going to the motherland, right? The mother of all nations. We're going to Egypt, September 18th through the 25th. Unleashing our passion, our power, and our purpose. Next level healing to get results. If you desire to learn more about this experience, definitely you want to go ahead and email us today. Email at repairtheblackfamily@gmail.com. Email the word Egypt. You can also text us at 727-623-5555. Text the word Egypt. Listen, family. If you want to expand your vision, stretch yourself, and truly tap in at a cellular level to regenerate spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, then this trip is for you. It's not too late. Sister Rikyrah, you talked about investment. I have a saying, it's never the money, it's never the time. It's your ability to say yes to you. The power is in the decision. We got to make a new decision to change the way we eat, to change the way we think, to change the way we move. Okay. And it's all within us. Your superpower is in your ability to apply the knowledge that you are given to change the narrative. So we thank you so very much, Sister Rikyrah. I'm going to hold you in the guest room. Family, if you have enjoyed this show, please share, like. It's on my YouTube as well, Heal on Purpose YouTube. Subscribe to that. This is going to be uploaded to my podcast that is streaming on all podcast streaming around the world. Let's go ahead and help another person heal. Regardless to race, class, creed, and color, the information that was shared here today, everyone and anyone can benefit. Let's make the new decision, powerful decision to heal on purpose. Thank you, Sister Mavis X Jackson says, phenomenal show. Thank you, Sister Elia. She wrote, read the labels, ask questions. In order to serve, you have to be seen, powerful. So family, we thank you so very much. Let's continue to heal on purpose. I am Sister Nayyirah, your transformational life coach and speaker, your host for Heal on Purpose. We love you all. Peace.